Hey, this is a video response to Kristen and anybody else who cares to watch about how I would push Evan Bourne if I were in charge of booking for the WWE. Now, I think it would be a mistake to throw him into a feud with Sheamus right away because, as you undoubtedly recall, back when Sheamus went from being on ECW and feuding with Goldust and Shelton Benjamin to going to Raw to destroying Jamie Noble a few times, and then suddenly he was in a feud with Cena over the WWE title, and people were like, "What the fuck?" So this guy's true. Why the hell is this guy getting elevated so far, so fast, just because he's Triple H's friend? That's wrong. And people might feel differently about Sheamus now because he's had time to win them over. But back then, they just thought, what the fuck? And I was one of the people who thought, what the fuck? And if somebody did the same thing with Evan Bourne, a lot of people would also ask, what the fuck? And they might like Evan Bourne, and they might want him to succeed, but they probably think it was too much too soon. And really, a problem that's got to be addressed is the guy has just done job after job after job, and he's had the occasional win, and I grant you that he's beaten Chris Jericho, but then again, JTG also beat Chris Jericho, and where's JTG now? Chris Jericho he seems very willing to put over guys who aren't big stars, and I think that's admirable. But if nobody else is willing to put those guys over, then nothing's going to come of it. So here's what I do with Evan Bourne. First of all, I would have him beat some guys in the mid card, get him on a bit of a winning streak. Have this go on for a month or two, so that people buy him as a guy who can actually win, and as a guy who is not just too small and gets overpowered all the time. And then, if he's still on Raw, he's probably going to still be on Raw because the draft is not for another 6 months, I think. If he's still on Raw, I would put him in a U.S. title belt feud with whoever is holding the belt at that point. And by the way, Daniel Bryan versus Evan Bourne would undoubtedly be an awesome match. But I have him win that belt first, and there's plenty of precedent that that is the way to go, and that's the way that you create new main eventers. Because there are plenty of guys who started out in the mid card, who worked their way up. They won the Intercontinental title, and they went on to win to the main event after their Intercontinental title run. There's The Rock, Austin, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho, and the list goes on and on. So that's what I do with Evan Bourne. And if you want a singles title, if you want, in this case, the U.S. title, people would take him. They would view him as more of a threat than they do now, and so uh, do that. Let him win that belt, or at the very least, have him come close to winning the belt, but come up just short, and then give him another shot, and then have him win it. In any case, give him a U.S. title run. Let him hold that for a little while, and then have him challenge for the WWE title, and preferably have him challenge somebody who doesn't make him look tiny by comparison, because if when Evan Bourne challenges Randy Orton, well, I've seen him in the ring with Orton, and even though Orton doesn't look like a big guy compared to Cena, Sheamus, Triple H, whoever, when Evan Bourne stands next to Randy Orton, he just looks really tiny. You compare that to somebody else, like Chris Jericho or Shawn Michaels, and compared to those guys, Bourne doesn't seem the visual is from a visual standpoint, they look more evenly matched. It doesn't look like people aren't going to go like, oh my God, look at how much bigger this guy is than Evan Bourne. I mean, this I can't believe that Evan Bourne has any kind of chance. So yeah, put him up against somebody who doesn't dwarf him, and have him win that, and then I think that he'd be over, and people would buy him as a legit main eventer, and I know it's not exactly a plan, and I didn't come up with any specific angles or any storylines or anything, but it's just this basic thing has been done for a very long time, and it's been done over and over, and the reason that it's been done over and over is because it works. It's helped guys who fans look at as mid-carders. It helps them be perceived as potential main eventers, and I think it would work here. The final thing I have to say about this is that it wouldn't hurt for Evan Bourne to work on his promos, because I've heard the guy talk a couple of times, and mic work is not his strong point. Is all I'll say. He might get better, because Bryan Danielson, or Daniel Bryan, however you want to think of him, didn't used to be very good on the mic either. Specifically from 2002 to 2005 is what I read. And then in 2005, he had improved a whole lot, and despite what The Miz would tell you when he's in character, Bryan was a good talker by 2005, and remains a good talker. So anyway, yeah, U.S. title first, then WWE title. Challenge against somebody reasonably close to his own size when he goes for the WWE title, and work on the mic skills. And I think that would, I think that would achieve the desired result and create a new main eventer for the WWE and prevent Evan Bourne from being a jobber to the stars for his entire WWE career, because a guy as talented as that deserves much better. So that is everything I have to say about that, and that is where I'll end it. Goodbye.